Hey guys, King Salamander here, back with another video. Today I will be rating every single Juventus player, rating his performance for the 23-24 season. Allegri has been sacked, so this will be a happy video. But let's rate every single player, give him a number out of 10, and I think any player that gets under 5 or 6 should be sold. We'll start with Mattia Perin, our second goalkeeper. He didn't play much at all this season. I think he played like 3 or 4 games. Didn't do anything special. There are rumors that he's gonna get sold. I'll give him 5 out of 10. He didn't do anything. He's a good goalkeeper. At least he was. Before he came to Juventus. Genoa he's really good. But yeah, I think he's gonna get sold. He doesn't like his second position after Szczesny. Speaking of Szczesny, we'll rate him. I'll give Szczesny a 6 out of 10. He's always this good keeper. Sometimes he gets some good saves, but he doesn't have that Buffon skill, that aura, that thing that makes strikers afraid of him. He doesn't really pull many miraculous saves. He does do some interesting saves. He did save us some points. But yeah, Szczesny gets a 6.5, let's say. Solid keeper, not the greatest of keepers. There's also rumors that he's gonna get out. Carlo Pinsoglio, the third keeper, he gets 10 out of 10 for obvious reasons. Moving on to the defenders. So, let's start with Lord Alexandro. Sandro gets an amazing 0 out of 10. Each time this guy gets out of our team, he has done enough damage. Every single game Sandro starts, he gives away, directly by his direct mistake, he gives away a goal. Sandro gets 0 out of 10. Get him out. He's been horrible for 3 or 4 seasons. And this one particularly, disastrous stuff. Moving on, Bremer. Bremer gets 7 out of 10. He's arguably our best defender this season. A very solid, very few mistakes. He's good in the airs too. He's starting to... He scored goals. He scored against Roma. I think he scored another goal. I forgot against whom. Yeah, against Lecce he scored. Great defender, honestly. And I think he's still young. He can get even better. For now, he gets 7 out of 10. Moving on, Danilo. I'll give Danilo a 6.5 out of 10. I like his composure. I think he gives some solutions to start the build-up of attacks from the defense. He can play at midfield too sometimes. He can play at right back too sometimes. He's a solid player all around. Doesn't do many mistakes. A good leader. Gets 6.5 out of 10. I hope he stays. Moving on. Mattia Di Cilio. He gets 2 out of 10. Like his number. Yeah, Di Cilio spent most of the season injured. All of the season, actually. Yeah, I only realized that's because he's an invisible player with 0 impact. He didn't play at all. He played one half against Lazio. The whole season's been injured. We can't go too hard on him, but even before his injury, he's just very subpar player. Doesn't belong in Juve. Moving on, Thiago Giallo. 0 minutes played with us. He came in from Lille in the winter mercato. Can't judge him really. Interrogation point out of 10. Moving on, Federico Gatti. I'm a fan of this guy. He definitely does many mistakes, but he has the grinta that we need. I want him to stay. He scores many goals, but sometimes he takes weird risks offensively. He goes offensively a lot, even with his feet, but he's not the best technical player. But I like what he does. He can definitely improve a lot though, so only 6 out of 10 for Gatti. Moving on, Daniele Rugani. I give Rugani 7 out of 10. I think he's been very solid every single time we had to start him. I want him to stay as a very good substitution. He's been showing really quality whenever he started, especially when Danilo got injured. Or Bremer, I forgot. Yeah, Rugani gets 7 out of 10. Andrea Combiaso. This is one of my favorite players in our current squad. I think he offers many solutions. He plays with both feet well. He's not that kind of fullback that just runs into the 6-line yard and crosses. We'll get to Kostic in a minute. Combiaso has many solutions. He likes to do vertical passes. He likes to do horizontal passes, which you don't see much from fullbacks. Combiaso gets an 8 out of 10 for me. One of the best players, probably the best in my opinion. He can get improved though. Moving on. Nicolo Fagioli. Fagioli gets I like him. He's a great talent, and our midfield really suffered without him. But what he did was kind of bad for us, so he can't get a positive note. He'll get 3 out of 10, but his potential is huge. On his best day, I think he's like 7 and 8 out of 10. I'm looking forward to his comeback. So Carlos Alcaraz, we didn't see enough of this guy. He came in the winter too, played very few minutes, didn't do really well, didn't do any impact. I don't think we're gonna re-sign him, but for what he showed, he gets 4 out of 10. I don't think he's enough quality, uh, especially for our midfield who needs way more than that. We have Filip Kostic next, guys, my favorite player. Kostic gets 1 out of 10. Okay. And he should be getting 0, but come, I respect him a little bit more than Sandro. Kostic, just horrible performance this season. Every time he does practically the same thing, takes the ball, runs all the way to the corner, head down, then just crosses randomly. Yeah, shocking performances from Kostic this season. Even assists-wise, I don't think he has more than like 4 or 5. Yeah, he has 4 assists in 30 games. Kostic gets 1 out of 10. Get him out of the club, please. He's 31 too. No much room to improve. Moving on. Manuel Locatelli. I am disappointed with Locatelli's performance this season. I don't think he gets more than 3 out of 10 from me. That's generous, by the way. I still don't know what this guy is good at. I know what he used to be good at. He used to play box to box and shoot a lot from outside the box. Now he's a regista, and he failed miserably in that role. Can't really blame him much, but kind of can too. He didn't step up to the task. 2.5 out of 10. I wouldn't mind selling him for good money. Moving on, Weston McKennie. McKennie gets 8.5 out of 10 from me. If we don't count the last months, he hasn't been good. This whole season, I think he was the best player in the team, honestly. He did a lot for us, especially offensively. He always has good moves inside the box. He's really good at pressuring opponents too. He does his job defensively. He gives solutions to the ball holder. You know, he always has good runs. He definitely surpassed his expectations, our expectations from him anyway. McKennie gets 8.5 out of 10. I hope he stays. Moving on. Fabio Miretti. Miretti gets 3 out of 10. I think we should loan him. Okay, maybe even less than 3. Honestly, he doesn't get more than Locatelli. No, I think he gets 2 out of 10 Moretti from me. Just all around disappointing performances from him. I think he did one good performance. I've forgotten which game. He did one good performance. Just his stats and even his play style, they leave a lot to be desired, honestly. He can improve on many things, especially his ball holding. Everyone can take the ball from him, I feel. His shooting has been disappointing too. He doesn't really do anything for me in that midfield. He should definitely get loaned, and one last chance after some time loaned to Serie A team. But for now, not Juve quality, definitely not. Moving on. Hans Nicolosi Caviglia didn't play much, but honestly, I liked him when he played. He has some really good corners, by the way, if anybody was focused on that. And free kicks, crossing from set pieces. He has some really good crosses, underrated. But he's not the greatest of players, but he's alright. He can improve too, honestly. I'm not against loaning him. I give him 4 out of 10 for now. Moving on. Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot has kind of disappointed me this season too, compared to last season. He doesn't seem like he wants to try as much anymore. He doesn't propose that much anymore. He can do some offensive contribution here and there, but not at the rate of previous season. He wasn't the leader we needed this season, I feel. Rabiot kind of let us down. I give him 5 out of 10. He still has great quality, so if he stays, but improves with his regularity. He needs to be more regular in his performances. He's been hit and miss. Moving on. Timothy Weah. This is a weird one. He didn't get enough time, but he also did get some opportunities to show himself, and he failed miserably, in my opinion. He had one good moment, that 6th goal versus Salernitana, which is kind of a lucky goal as well, let's be honest, but it was a great strike. I don't think he showed enough for us to keep him. I think we should get rid of Wea. He doesn't get more than 3 out of 10, honestly. He did also give that Milik decisive pass in the cup versus Lazio. But yeah, I think he can shine though under another trainer, so maybe we should keep him for another season. But honestly, not more than 3.5 out of 10 from me for Wea. Moving on. The young non-gay Joseph. This is such a poor guy. Remember when we subbed him in, then subbed him out immediately in the Napoli game? Yeah, I don't think how we can come back from that because he made the penalty mistake, of course. That was really rough on him, but I think he's a promising young player. Didn't show enough for us, so I wouldn't rate him just yet. Didn't play enough to be rated. But a good loan spell for some Serie A or even Serie B team could do him well. I think he has potential. Moving on, Paul Pogba. Yeah, I'm gonna rate this fucking guy. Pogba gets negative 10 out of 10. Screwed us over. We had so many hopes on him. So much was hanging on the balance. His return was like the biggest transfer we got last Mercato. And he just did what he did. Unforgivable stuff for a professional football player. Yeah, he's gonna go out now, and very shameful return for Pogba, and very shameful exit as well. I'm very angry at him because he could have changed so much. So much. What a failed transfer. Probably the biggest failed transfer in Juventus history last like 10 years maybe, even though he came for free. Yeah. Moving on, Federico Chiesa. I give Chiesa 6 out of 10. Not based on his level. A good form Chiesa gives us is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. He's, in my opinion, can be the best player in the world soon. But this season hasn't been consistent. He fails some things that usually does very well. And I understand he came off a big injury. He's still not his same self anymore. And Allegri is insisting to play him as a second striker. Definitely not his place. He should be a winger. So you can't play him that much either. I think he started to adapt to that role though. He did have some fire performances. So, but I give him a harsh note because I know what he's capable of. A good informed Chiesa is the best player in the world, in my opinion. I don't care. So yeah, definitely I want him to stay though. I'm sure 100% next year will be Chiesa's year if he doesn't get injured. Moving on, Samuel Elling Jr. Honestly disappointed from Samuel Elling Jr. performance this season. He had promise. I expected great things from him. I wanted him to get minutes. He did get minutes. Allegri did play him a lot of times. He did not do anything of what he showed us last seasons. Maybe Allegri problem. Maybe Samuel Elling Jr. problem. I think alone could do well, but I expect us to sell him, which will hurt me, but at the same time, he didn't show much. Moving on, Moise Kean. Kean, before the Atletico fiasco, that failed transfer to Atletico, he's been really good for us. That part of the season, I give him a 7 out of 10, honestly. I think he proposed something every time he was subbed on. Afterwards, though, a ghost of himself. Horrible performances after horrible performances. He didn't even play anymore. I mean, yeah, overall, Keane gets 3 out of 10. I think he should get out by this point. If he stays, though, under a good coach, I won't be mad, honestly. I still think he has potential, but he has many, many things to improve on, especially mentally. Moving on. Arkadiusz Milik. Yeah, Milik will get 6 out of 10. I want him to stay as a sub. Not much more to say. He did screw us with that red card versus Empoli, but we can't blame everything on that, honestly. The team just kind of like crumbled. Moving on. Vlahovic. I give Vlahovic 6.5 out of 10. When he's on fire, but he has many games where just too angry to focus. So he needs to improve his mental things. And I want him to stay. I think he will stay. He will be a huge player for us next season, I'm sure. Like with Chiesa, I know what he's capable of. So if he reaches that level again, he will be one of the great strikers in Europe. And lastly, Kenan Yildiz. I give him 7 out of 10. Great promise. One of the best talent we have in years. I want that trio, Milik, Chiesa, Vlahovic next season to be starter. I want him to stay. Great talent. Definitely one of the best in the world very soon. That was my video. Please like and subscribe for more content.